Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, my students. Hope you had a wonderful Eid celebration. This week, we are going to look at a new topic, three-dimensional shapes. In geometry, a three-dimensional shape can be defined as a solid figure or an object or shape that has three dimensions, which are length, width, and height, which we normally call length, breadth, and height. Unlike two-dimensional shapes that has only length and breadth, three-dimensional shapes have thickness or depth. For example, when you hold a stick now, that stick, that's what we call thickness. When you have a cup, that is the depth, the inside of that cup. The attributes of three-dimensional shapes are faces, edges, and vertices. That is, when you see a three-dimensional shape, it will have a face, it will have faces, you will see edge there, and you see vertices there, as the case may be. It's not in all cases that it's not in all cases that we have a vertex there. The three-dimensional shape compose the edges of a three-dimensional geometrical shape. Face. A face is a two-dimensional shape that make up one surface of a three-dimensional shapes. A face is a two-dimensional shape that make up one surface of a three-dimensional shape. That is, two-dimensional shape like square now, like square, like rectangle, like triangle, that is in a prism. All those two-dimensional shape, they are the faces of a three-dimensional shape. Like in this cube now that you are looking at, square, there is a two-dimensional shape. So that is the face of the cube. When you go to cuboid, the two-dimensional shape here is a rectangle. That is the face of this cuboid. We'll go to edge. An edge is a place where two faces meet. Look at this cuboid. Edge is where this upper part, and this side part, the place where they meet is where we call edge. This side one and this front one, where they meet, is where we call edge. Same thing when you look at this cylinder. That place that I shade, that is the edge of this cylinder. You can see that I shade this place, so you understand it. This face, the curved surface, and this upper face, where they meet, is what we call edge. A vertex. A vertex is a point or a corner of a geometrical shape. Look at where I shade here. All those corner, the point, that's what we call a vertex. If you look at this cylinder now, you can see that there is no corner, there is no point there. So there's no vertex here. But in this case now, you can see where I shade here. This is what we call, these are the vertices. Examples of three-dimensional shapes. Three-dimensional shapes include cube, cuboid, sphere, cylinder, cone, prism, etc. We start from cube. You can see the diagram of a cube. A cube is a three-dimensional shape bounded by six square faces. You can see what I mean, what I said the other time. That square there is a two-dimensional shape. So that's the face. Six square faces. Example of a cube, the Maggie cube that you use at home. The dice that they use in playing a Ludo game. The properties. It has six equal faces, that is, the square there, all the sides of a square are equal. The edge, 12 edges there. Those edges I said. This you have 4 up, 4 down, 4 at the side there. So you have 12 edges and 8 vertices. All those points. 1, 2, 3, 4 up. Look at that way that I showed the other time. 1, 2, 3, 4 up. You have the same thing down. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So we have 8 vertices. For cuboid, they're almost the same thing with cube. A cube is a 3-dimensional shape bounded by 6 unequal quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals are 4-sided shape. Like this cuboid now, you may have square at the side and rectangle at up A or the other side. So that's why I use 6 unequal quadrilaterals. When you have a combination of square and rectangle, they are unequal. So the example of that is a case of mathematical set and the matches box that we use at home. The property, just like a cube, 6 faces but unequal, 12 edges and 8 vertices. Cone. You can see a cone there. It's a 3-dimensional shape that tapers smoothly from a flat base to a point called apex or vertex. Example of this include the roof of a mansion. You see a mansion like this, you just point up. The properties. The first one, it has 2 faces. One curved surface and one flat surface. One curve that come down, then one flat surface. This one that come down to be round, then one flat surface. It has one edge, because since we have 2 faces there, and an edge is a place where 2 faces meet. So we have 2 faces, definitely the edge must be 1. Then vertices, so we have just 1 vertex, that upper part, just 1 vertex. I will go to cylinder. Cylinder is a 3-dimensional shape in geometry. A cylinder is round and has a top and bottom shape of a circle. You can see the top and the bottom shape. Look at your tin of milk. That's the cylinder. Tin of Bonfita, Milo. That's the cylinder. Then when you place it down, that is the bottom, the upper part. So all those bottom and top part, they are circle. So that's why I said is a round and has a top and bottom shape of a circle. So the top and bottom are flat and always the same size. Example of cylinder include a tin of milk, a Bonfita tin, etc. So the properties. Number 1, it has 3 faces. The upper flat that I said, and the bottom flat. Then the curved surface, that middle one. Since we have 3 faces, definitely the edge will be 2, because it is an edge that will connect 2 faces. An edge connect 2 faces. We have 3 faces there. Definitely your edge will be 2. Your edge will be 2. And for vertex, you can see that there is no vertex there. No vertex. All the 3-dimensional shapes are made from 2-dimensional shapes. Like cube now, it is from square. Cuboid is from a rectangle and a square. A cone is from a circle and a triangle, while a cylinder is from a circle. This is why we are going to stop this week, because of the nature of this week. We have holidays there, so we have just 3 weeks this week. So next week, inshallah, we'll go to the next topic. So that will not stop us from giving you assignment. So go to assignment page and do the assignment. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.